Hi, ever wondered how a 4-stroke gasoline engine operates? Well, I am here to show you. Here we go. Okay, 4-stroke gasoline engine. These are the basics of how it works. And just to give you a general overview of how it works. Alright, let's just get right into it here. Turn the key, the battery is connected up to your starter, and it's juicing the starter up. So when you turn the key, you complete a connection. You complete an electrical connection, which rotates the starter. The starter has a little motor. It has an electromagnet in there, a solenoid, and it's turning. That's turning. It's connected to a flywheel, which turns as well. And the flywheel is connected to your crankshaft, and it's rotating, all rotating together. You turn the key, it rotates, gets all energy, rotates, and that's connected up to your piston through. So you have your crankshaft rotating and your connecting rod. It's made in such a way that your connecting rod up to your piston makes it go vertical up and down. So you have rotational energy into vertical to rotation motion. So when it's going up and down, your computer, your ECU says, "Hey, we got some air going in and out. Let's trigger some fuel." So your fuel injector gets the message from the computer, your ECU or whatever, and it shoots fuel in here. So you have fuel and air coming in here, and you're getting ready to start your first stroke. You ready? It's the intake. So it sucks. You have suck, squeeze, bang. Your strokes. Intake, compression, power, exhaust. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Blow. That's your 4 strokes. Intake, compression, power, and exhaust. Your first stroke is intake. Sucks in that fuel and air. Like that. It goes in. It's like a differential pressure from. It just sucks in, kind of like your lungs operate. It's kind of a sucking action, not really. It's kind of like a difference of pressure. But anyway, it sucks in the air. So you have the intake, your air comes from your intake manifold. It sucks in, your fuel gets sprayed in, and then as it comes back up, because this is rotating and this is going up and down, so it comes up, and then your second stroke, your compression stroke, compresses. It's pressurized. You have the volume compresses or whatever, and then your spark plug sparks at just the right moment. This is all computers are connected up to, whatever. It knows what's going on. So, and then you have your power, your bang, just over top dead center. It's like a 20 degrees before top dead center, or there are certain different cars have certain points at when the spark plug sparks, and you have your power stroke, which pushes the piston back down, and you start the process all over again. Well, you have your exhaust stroke, so it comes back up, and then the exhaust goes out. But the process is it can go on forever as long as you have fuel, air, and a spark or whatever. So you don't need the starter or battery. Well, you need the battery. You don't need, but you don't, because you have the alternator charging up your battery. But you don't need your starter no more, so it's shut down, and you don't need to hold the key on or whatever. So anyway, here are the parts to all this whole process. Now you got the intake manifold. The air comes in through it. You got your fuel injector. It's spraying in fuel. You got your crankshaft down here rotating, connected with a connecting rod, hence the word connecting rod. You got your piston, it goes up and down. You have your cylinder right here. The whole area is called the cylinder. You have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 cylinders in your car with pistons or whatever, all connect to a crankshaft. Usually you have a V4. It's situated in your engine compartment, and it's shaped like a V. You also have W engines too, but let's just stick with V's. So V4. But anyway, there's one cylinder right here. Now you have your exhaust manifold going out that way, and your valves. You have your camshaft, which rotates, and the rocker arms. Your camshaft opens and closes the valves. This valve, and those valves, when they open and close, they let air, fuel in. They don't let it in. They don't let it out. You know, the exhaust. Let the exhaust out. Don't let it out at just the right moments and when it needs to be. It needs to be. It's all connected together, and then you got your. Oh man, so much fun. Let me tell you. This is all. You got your camshaft. See, your rocker arms. Your rocker arms are connected to your camshafts. To your camshaft, to the valves. I said camshafts, plural. There's one camshaft per cylinder. Anyway, now 4-stroke intake, compression, power, exhaust, suck, squeeze, bang, blow is the easy way to remember it. And that's that. There's a lot going on right there. There's a lot to it, and it's just all around good time. And what you're doing is you're taking rotating motion, and it's just by mechanical means it's translated to vertical motion, and then you have this process where fuel, air, and a spark and pressure is all combined to have it I can't think of the word, but where it can go on forever. It's self-exciting, self something. But anyway, it can go up and down. It's explosion, RPMs, rotations per minute or whatever, and it can just explode and explode and explode. And it's not really like an explosion. You don't want to have an explosion in there. It's called detonation or whatever. But it's kind of like a pressure gets to so much that it needs to relieve. And in the cylinder walls, sometimes there's fluid. Sometimes you have engine fluid, engine coolant going through the walls of your cylinder to cool it down, because a car is pretty much like 20 to 30% efficient, and the rest of the is heat and exhaust that the power gets lost or whatever. So it's only 20 to 30% efficient. The rest is lost in heat and exhaust. So the heat needs to be dissipated by these walls and the cylinder housing. So they're built in such a manner to do that, and the better you're able to do that, the more efficient you can make your engine, the more percents, and the more better you can get your engine to work. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Well, that concludes the 4-stroke gasoline engine operation how-to video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. The crankshaft rotates, whereas the piston goes up and down. These are the engine basics for a 4-stroke gasoline engine. Now, when you turn your key, the battery and starter is connected up. The battery's juicing the starter. And when you turn the key, you complete a circuit which makes the starter turn. The starter turns and it's connected up to a flywheel, and the flywheel turns. It's connected to the crank. The crank turns, rotates, and it's connected up to the pistons, which go up and down. Your combustion chamber is right there. Your valves open and close, letting air and fuel, and your spark plug in the middle sparks, well, wherever it is, 1 or 2 or whatever. And this is one cylinder chamber with a piston housed inside, and you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of these cylinder chambers that are connected to the crankshaft. The crankshaft that turns and rotates and connect to your transmission and onto your drive shaft, into your differential, and onto your tires. Yeah. Okay. After you turn your key and your battery connected to your starter, you complete that connection, and the little motor inside the starter turns the flywheel connected to your crankshaft, and the crankshaft turns and it's connected to the piston. Your piston right here, which your crankshaft rotates, and then the connecting rod, your crankshaft down here rotates, and then it's connected to the connecting rod, connects it to the piston, and it turns the rotational energy into vertical motion, the rotational motion into vertical motion. Now as that's going up and down, you have a computer, an ECU in your car, a computer, and it knows that there's air going in and out. So it tells the fuel injectors to squirt some fuel in with the air. So when this is going up, you have 4 strokes. Intake, suck, it's suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Intake is when it sucks in the air. When this is going down, it's sucking in the air, intake, through your intake manifold, sucking in the air, the piston's going down. And then, when it comes back up, it compresses, it's compression, squeeze, it squeezes, and that squeeze, in a diesel engine, it doesn't need a spark plug, but in this gasoline vehicle, it needs a spark plug. So when it squeezes that pressure, the air and fuel and that pressure, and then it sparks at just the right time, at top, just over top dead center. There's a specific like 20 degrees afterwards or before, I forget. But anyway, the whole point is when that explodes, that pressure and at just the right time, it explodes down, it pushes the piston down, and then you have the exhaust stroke where the exhaust gases go out, but it comes back up and the process starts all over again, and you have a self-exciting, self-actuating. It can go on forever as long as there's fuel, air, and spark, and you don't need the key turned over or nothing after that. You don't need the starter, and the starter turns off, and you're good to go. But you need that initial start. So the terms we have is we have the intake manifold right here, and then you have your fuel injector. Your camshaft right here is connected to your rocker arms, and these valves are connected to that. So when your camshaft is turning, your valves open and close, allowing air and fuel to come in and exhaust to go out, or not to come back in. You have your connecting rod, you have your piston, connecting rod, crankshaft, and then your this whole area is called the cylinder, which is the piston and all it's encased in. The cylinder has these walls that sometimes fluid goes inside the walls or whatever to aid in cooling, because most of your heat, a gasoline engine is only like 20 to 30% efficient. The rest is wasted heat and exhaust. It goes out your tailpipe. It's mostly heat that goes into your cylinder walls, and it heats up a lot, so you need to have those nice and thick, or just shaped in such a way that it dissipates the heat, and it's more efficient that way. Your engine runs more efficient the cooler it is. So I think I got that backwards. I have to delete that out. But anyway, now as air comes in, it goes out. Now we have, it's called a 4-stroke: suck, squeeze, bang, blow. These are the engine basics. The camshaft that opens the valves and closes the valves. The rocker arm connects the camshaft to the valves, and that's that. It's pretty cool. I hope you guys learned something, and have a good day. Thank you.